Good afternoon and welcome to Tollcross International Swimming Centre here in Glasgow for the Glasgow International Swimming Meet 2022. My name is Ian Wright. I'm the head coach of the City of Glasgow swim team, and I'll be guiding you through the commentary of this afternoon's heats session here on day one of the competition. We're pleased to be back in 2022 after a 2-year gap due to the pandemic, which obviously caused us to cancel and postpone the previous 2 years of competitions, but we're great to be back in Glasgow for this competition. We've got a great entry. Over 60 clubs have entered and almost 700 swimmers are taking part this weekend. We have teams from overseas, including the Denmark national junior team, the Icelandic national team, a group of swimmers from Ireland, the Scottish junior team, their national junior team are here taking part as a group together, and the majority of the Scottish Commonwealth Games swimming team are also taking part in this competition. So some great action in prospect. On the screen you can see the events that we have this afternoon: the 200 individual medley, the 100 meter butterfly, the 200 meter backstroke, the 50 meter freestyle, and the 50 meters breaststroke. And there will also be one heat of the 1500 freestyle, with the fastest heat of that event taking place in the final session tonight. The other heats that we have this afternoon are what we refer to as the B-flight heats, or the slower heats. The fastest heats already taken place this morning, and we saw many of those international swimmers taking part in those events this morning. And this afternoon we will see the remaining heats take place, and to see if any of those swimmers who are swimming this afternoon can make it through to the finals, where there are 3 finals for each event: a junior final, and an open B final, and an open A final. We'll be getting underway in just a couple of minutes with the 3 heats of the women's 200 meter individual medley, the 3 remaining heats of that event. First of all, we just await the arrival of the technical officials onto the pool side. Now, the individual medley events at this year's competition, the men's and women's 200 and 400 IM, are actually sponsored by Swim Easy, one of Scotland's leading swimming lesson companies. I'm very grateful we are to them for their sponsorship this year. Here come our officials. Delighted to see them looking so good in their Glasgow International Swim Meet polo shirts. They're moving them into position, and we can see now the names of the first heat on the screen. We'll have 6 swimmers taking part. Amelia Campbell from Stirling Swim, Ellen Denny from Geary, Caitlin Frame from First, Gina Wren from Glasgow, Miriam McPhee from Fauldhouse, and Abigail Crawford from Glasgow. Just going through the safety announcements here at the competition, the in-venue announcer. once that's finished, we'll be underway.
And there is a WhatsApp code to do that on the confirmation pack. And please be able to use the mobile phones to take over by safely taking photographs is not permitted in the toilets, changing rooms or the tower area. So we're ready to get underway with the first event of the afternoon, which is the women's 200 meters individual medley, and there will be 3 heats.
So here we go, the start of the afternoon session, heat 1 of the women's 200 meter individual medley. Underway we are. In fact, only 5 swimmers going away here. Abigail Crawford is missing. So it's the other 5 girls. And taking the lead down this first 50 is Ellen Denny from Geary. Of course, the individual medley, 1 length of each of the strokes in the order of butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and then freestyle. And we can see Ellen turning first there in 32.13. Being challenged in lane 5 by Gina. Gina, one of the home club swimmers, had a recent good performance in this event at the Scottish National Age Group Championships. She's looking quite smooth here as she challenges Ellen down this backstroke length. Very close on the touch, Ellen, Gina and also Amelia Campbell all touching close together. And now we see who can make their move on the breaststroke leg. And it's Gina who has now moved ahead of Ellen. Although Ellen is now challenging back again. See Ellen with a slightly faster stroke rate and Gina using a longer stroke down this breaststroke length. Into the final turn. She's a second and a half up on Gina, and we'll see if Gina can do anything about that, trying to chase her back down this last 50. But Ellen is actually now pulling away. Opened up about a 3 or 4 meter lead over Gina. With Amelia Campbell also trying to finish strongly out there in lane 2. And into the finish, it's Ellen Denny, 2 minutes 36.55. Gina at 2 minutes 40 and Amelia at 2:43. And the heat 2, full of 10 swimmers this one. We've got Ella McGeorge from Cooper in lane 0 on the far side. Then it's Rosie Mearison from Glasgow. And Macy Carty Rosie Heaps and Ellen McPhee in lanes 2, 3, 4, all from the Foldhouse Club. Madison Cool from Bucky goes in lane 5. Ava Kirkham from First in lane 6. Jessica Kirkwood from Aberdeen Performance in lane 7. Alexandra Miller making the 4th Foldhouse Summer in this heat in lane 8. And we've got Isla Garden from Geary in lane 9. And the leader at the moment, already 3-4 meters up, is Madison Cool from Bucky. Really nice looking backstroke, smooth and long stroke. She touches at the turn in 1 minute 11.32. Coming back now slightly on Madison. We have lanes 6 and lanes 3. Lane 3, Rosie Heaps. Lane 6, Ava Kirkham. Trying to put a challenge in on Madison. Through the turn at 2 minutes .14, we've got Madison Cool. Just behind her is Ava Kirkham. Close after that it's Rose Heaps and Ellen McPhee with a good breaststroke split from Ellen McPhee. These 4 girls now challenging for the win of this heat. Lane 5 has it still. Madison Cool, can she hang on? Being pushed very closely now by Ava Kirkham, and Ellen McPhee with a really strong finish as well in lane 4. Trying to accelerate into the finish. It's a great race between these three. It's all down to the touch. Ellen McPhee just comes through to take it. 2:37.37. And then Madison 0.25 behind that. And on the screen you can see the splits for that final 50 and how Ellen came through with a 35.9. The best split of the race in that last 50 meters to take the win. Good swim from her. And on to the final heat this afternoon of the 200 IM for women. Another full set of 10. In lane 0, it's Tony Shaw, who's one of Scotland's leading and one of the world's leading para swimmers. Swims in the S9 category from Stirling University. She's going to the Commonwealth Games later this summer. In lane 1 is Thea Glenn. Lane 2, Ciara Finlayson. Lane 3, Daisy McInnes. Lane 4 is Caris Mooney. 5, Ellie Louise Kennedy. 6 is Madeline Patterson. 7, Ava Ross. Those 6 swimmers are all from, those 7 swimmers are all from the city of Glasgow swim team. And then finally, Laura Frizzle in lane 8 from Heart of Midlothian, and Madison Gallagher goes in lane 9 from First. Okay, so 7 Glasgow swimmers, 1 from Stirling Uni, 1 from Heart of Midlothian, and 1 from First. And we have about 5 in the line right now. But lane 1, Tony Shaw, one of the Paralympic medalists from Tokyo, and going into a second Commonwealth Games this season. This summer in Birmingham, she's part of the team in Gold Coast in 2018, and she touches at the well, maybe her time hasn't come up there, but it's very close between Tony and Thea. And in the middle we've got Caris Mooney, who's a good breaststroker. She might be looking to pull away a little bit now. Ellie Kennedy is also going well in lane 5. The Hearts girl, Laura Frizzell, has a strong but very long breaststroke in lane 8. She's still with a chance, and coming back nicely now is one of the breaststroke specialists, Madeline Patterson. in lane 6. She is a national age group champion this season in the 14-year-old category in the breaststroke events. But Karis Mooney outsplit everyone there with a 44.8 on that freestyle, on that breaststroke leg, and she's now got 4 to 5 meters clear lead over Ellie Louise Kennedy, who's just slipping back a little bit, coming through. Laura Frizzell from Hearts. One swimmer at the front there. Karis Mooney is going to win this heat. Laura Frizzell is coming through. It's tied for the second at 2:34.67 of Karis Mooney. It takes the win of the heat, followed by 2:38 for Ellie Kennedy, Maddie Patterson, Laura Frizzell. All very close on 2:30, 2:38. As you can see there, unfortunately, Ellie Kennedy, the Glasgow swimmer in lane 5, was disqualified for a technical infraction. Her or her coach will have to go over to the referee and ask what the specifics of that were. And now on to the men's 200-meter individual medley. The remaining heats of this, we have 4 remaining heats to swim. This first one has 5 swimmers in it. Daniel Hendry in lane 3 from Glasgow, Nathan Lilly in lane 4, Bells Hill Sharks. Liam Johnston goes in 5 from the best team in the Borders. And then Aaron Machin and Kyle Connolly are in 6 and 7, both Glasgow swimmers. And a nice butterfly from Nathan Lilly there, going out in 30.7. He'll be pleased with that. And then can he hold on through the other 3 strokes? He's been caught at the moment by Daniel Hendry, who's a good backstroker from Glasgow, the 12-year-old. They've done an excellent first 100, these 2 boys touching there. The swimmers must touch while still on their back. And you cannot turn over onto your front in the medley, in the 200 IM. Before you touch the wall, you must still be on your back when you touch the wall with your hand. And then at that point you can flip or twist round and push off on your front for the breaststroke leg. And Hendry is still trying to work hard against Nathan Lilly here. Lilly just picked up a little bit on the breaststroke. The other 3 boys are about 4 meters back, but swimming really close together. Into the last 50. Nathan ahead of Daniel from about 1.5 second lead. And we'll look to see if Daniel can try and close that down. It's going to be difficult. He's not doing so at the moment, and in fact, Liam Johnson is starting to close on Daniel Hendry. And it looks like Nathan has done a great race here. The Bells Hill Shark swimmer comes into the finish 2:35.35. He was entered on a 2:34, so it's close to that. Daniel Hendry at 2:37 was second. On to heat 2. We've got 10 swimmers here going in heat 2. Logan Scully in lane 0 from Aberdeen Performance. Oscar Chenside from Geary in lane 1. Lane 2 is Keane Smith from Edry. Lanes 3 and 4 are first swimmers, Alex Black and Gregor Skinner. Jake McKenzie from Aberdeen Performance in 5. Cameron Gill also from first in lane 6. Cooper's Ewan Gregors in 7. Connor Briley from Dundee City Aquatics in 8. And Cole Morrison of Sterling Swim makes up the field in lane 9. An excellent start here by Keane Smith, the Airdrie swimmer, out there in lane 2. Really nice looking backstroke, pulling away from the field on his backstroke. Lane 6, not too bad. There's Cameron Gill coming in at second, but 35.1 split. That's 3 or 4 seconds quicker than anyone else in the field there. So he just took this heat apart there, Keane Smith, opened up a huge lead. Can he hold on now in the breaststroke? $10 meters to go. Having a sneaky look around there, Keane, to see where the other swimmers are. Hopefully he noticed he's still in the lead, but by not as much. He's got 2 meter lead. Entering the last 50 over Cameron Gill. 47 split for the breaststroke. The other boys run around 45. But he's still commanding the lead here. Is Keane and being challenged still by Cameron Gill. There's a close battle behind that between everyone else. But Keane is going to take the win of this heat. Two minutes 27. Cameron Gill at 2:29, followed by Gregor Skinner and Alex Black close together at 2 minutes 30. There's a summary of that heat. Straight on to heat 3 of the afternoon heats of the 200 IM. We have 9 swimmers going in this. Should have been 10, but 1 has pulled out. We've got Finlay Sang in lane 0. He's from Glasgow. Caven's Finn Longmore is in lane 1. They're from Caven is his club from Ireland. Lane 2 is empty. Lane 3 is Fraser McCain from Swim IT. In the middle, we've got Lucas Johnson from Aberdeen Performance and Marcus Blake from Glasgow. And then the final 4 is Lewis Gibson, North Ayrshire. Rojas Kringelis from Bells Hill in lane 7. Then Dan Hall, Aberdeen Performance, and David Landman from Glasgow make up the rest of the heat. Lane number 4, Lucas Johnson. Nice 2 to 3 meter lead as he touches the wall. Does a backflip onto his breaststroke. There's essentially 3 ways you can do that back to breaststroke turn. You can do what Lucas did there, was touch the wall with your hand and then do basically a backflip. You go straight onto your front. You can touch the wall with your hand and then just swivel your feet around and push off. Or you can do somewhere in between that, what we call the crossover turn, which is slightly more complicated, where you're slightly moving towards the front as you come into the wall, leaning to one side, and then you rotate by pushing your head down and flipping the feet across. Usually the way of the best swimmers in the world do that one these days. However, we've now moved on to the freestyle leg, and it's Kringalis who's leading. And here in lane 8, in 7 in fact. It's another Belsill swimmer. But he looks like he's going to keep ahead of it. It's got a close finish behind him going on. But Kringalis takes it at 2:23.69 from Lucas Johnson, 2:24.88. Lewis Gibson, 2:25.45. And that's your top 3. Fourth and final heat of the 200 IM this afternoon. 10 swimmers lined up across the pool. Oliver Cartwright from Glasgow in lane 1. Connor Mitchell, Warren in 2. Robbie Carlisle from Bells Hill. Bells Hill swimmers having a good afternoon already. Is in lane 2. Logan van der Meulen in 3. Jack Mitchell in 4. Fraser Tetlow in 5. Guy Semple from Warren in 6. Dylan Cashmore in 7. Fraser McIntosh from East Kilbride in lane 8, and Ethan Stewart from Hamilton goes in lane 9. Slightly closer affair in this race. Lane 9 going excellently. Ethan Stewart. Yeah. Ethan Stewart with a 35-point split from lane 9. An excellent performance there to take the lead on the backstroke. However, he's already relinquished some of that lead back to Jack Mitchell. Sorry, Fraser Tetlow in 5. Fraser Tetlow it is in 5 from Ethan Stewart. Quite close this, across the field, apart from the leader, Fraser Tetlow in the yellow hat from Geary. Geary again, we've already seen some good swimmers from Geary swimmers this afternoon. Fraser with a 40.0 breaststroke split. 2:1.47, could go 2:20. 200, can he break under 2:20 here? That'd be a nice target for him. Entered on a 21. Sorry, even a 22, a 2:22. It looks like he's going to be inside that. And he's coming through. Fraser Tetlow, 5 meters ahead, touches the wall. 2:20.78, just outside that 20 barrier. Fraser McIntosh from Logan van der Meulen, second and third. Close behind that, Guy Semple, Ethan Stewart, and 2:25s. And that's the end of that heat. All results not quite confirmed yet. There we go, there's the confirmation. Fraser Tetlow winning that heat. Okay, change of focus now as we move on to the women's 100-meter butterfly. The remaining heats of this, of which there are 6. 8 swimmers to the pool in heat 1 of the 100 fly. We have Keisha McCormack in lane 1, Chloe Kirk from Mulgine 2. Kira Gregg from Fieldhouse goes in lane 3. Simona Finlayson, Dundee City Aquatics in 4. Then it's Kirsty Funnel from Hearts in 5. Madison Stewart from Aberdeen Performance in 6. Anna Harkness from Best in lane 7. And Abigail Crawford, does she go? Yes, we didn't see her earlier, but she is going now in the 100 IM. And sorry, the 100 meter butterfly. And Madison Stewart, apologies, Anna Harkness from Best in the Borders coming in to take that heat. She touches first at 1 minute 12.99. And the Harkness 112 there to win that heat as we move on now to heat number 2. This being one of our hot heats, where randomly selected heats throughout the afternoon session. There's a prize for the winning swimmer in that heat. Okay, 9 swimmers, we've got 1 empty lane. But we've got here Isla Garden, Hannah Stahl, Sophia Falone, Kira Finlayson is the empty lane in 3. Should have been her. Ava Kirkham back in the water in lane 4. Talia Blackley, lane 5. Ellie Louise Kennedy in lane 6. Macy Carty in 7. Lizzie White in lane 8. And Kira Bailey in lane 9. Going really nicely in lane 1 is Hannah Stahl from Cooper. Nice butterfly from that girl. City of Glasgow's Talia Blackley going quite well in the middle. Just now they're being overtaken by Leeds. It's Hannah Stahl coming into the win. Challenge there in lane 7. Came from nowhere, Macy Carty in lane 7. Came back in 39.0 for a 112.93. Amazing finish there in the last 5. It looked like Hannah Stahl had that wrapped up. But Macy Carty came through storming in the last 5 to take the win of the heat. And that's the hot heat. She'll get a prize for that. Oh, we're just checking. There it is, confirmed result. Macy Carty from Hannah Stahl and Ava Kirkham, Sophia Falone, Ellie Kennedy, Talia Blackley. Heat number 3 of 6. 10 swimmers lined up. Emma Silcock goes in 0 from first. Olivia Payton, South Ayrshire in lane 1. Perry Scobie from lane 2 from Sterling Swimming, who's off to a great start. Lane 3 is Rosie Heaps from Fieldhouse. 4, Erica Watt, Heart of Midlothian. Emma Leggett from Hamilton in 5. Phoebe Arbuckle, the Scottish National Junior team. Warren DeSummer, but swimming here for the Scottish National Junior team in lane 6. Lane 7 is Emma Freeborn from West Lothian. Victoria Niven is in 8, the Glasgow Summer, and Kaylin Chan, North Ayrshire, in lane 9. Lane 2, Perry Scobie doing a great job here, taking this race out. Took it out hard, holding on strong. Challenges are coming from Rose Heaps and Emma Leggett. Then 3 and 5 starting to close down now on Perry. There's 8 meters to go. Can she hang on? Still just ahead. It's all down to the touch. And Perry does take it at 1:11.63 from Emma Leggett. 1:12.31. Rosa Heaps also on a 1:12. And the confirmation there of that heat. Moving on to the next one. Heat number 4 out of the 6. In lane heat number 4, we've got another 10 swimmers going at this 100-meter butterfly. India Marshall from East Lothian, Lexine McCappin from First, Kirsten Mackay from Warrender, Louise Connell and Freya Beaton from the city of Glasgow, Adrian Cooke from Cavan, Chloe McLean from Dundee City Aquatics, Georgia Reid Glasgow, Emily Riek Aberdeen Performance, and Emily Dickens Glasgow. In the lane 9, that's across the pool. Lane 4, Freya Beaton. Having a great day, Freya, today. Swam really well this morning. Some big PBs, and she's swimming really determined looking 100-meter butterfly here with 15 to go. She's got the lead ahead of strong swims from Lexine McCappin and Kirsten Mackay out in lanes 1 and 2. But Freya's going to take this at 1:08.72. Entered in 1:11, finishes 1:08. Going to be really happy with that. Coached at the City of Glasgow by Danielle Brayson. And Freya, as I say, has been having a great day. Already swam really well in the 200 IM this morning. And looks like she's got the bit between her teeth today. Confirming the win there. Lexine McCappin from First was second at 1:09.95. On to heat number 5, penultimate heat. 9 swimmers at Lynn, 8 is empty. Millie Donaghy from East Kilbride goes in 0. Lauren Anderson, Fold House in 1. Katie Brennan from Bellsville Sharks in 2. Ellen Denny back in the water from Geary in 3. Holly Lumsden, the Heart of the Midlothian Summer in 4. Alexandra Miller from Fold House in 5. Eva Gordon, Sterling Swim in 6. Ella Thatcher Plant in 7 from Edinburgh University. Then Kate Cassidy from Aberdeen Performance and Alana McDonald from Borough of Stockton in the outside there. Great to see the Borough of Stockton team up here again. They enjoyed coming to the Glasgow meet. And she's going well. This is Alana McDonald, but also in lane 1. Just with the lead, it's Lauren Anderson from Fold House. Ella Thatcher Plant coming through nicely. Well, lane 4 as well. Lane 3 it was. Ellen Denny. Another good swim from Ellen. 1:10.58, just ahead of Lauren Anderson at 1:10.6. Heat confirmed, and one more to go in the women's 100 fly. Catriona Stewart, lane 0. Mia McLeod, lane 1. Layla Weatherspoon in 2. Milana Lowe in 3. Grace Courtney in 4. Emma Finley in 5. Kirsty Gilmore in 6. In lane 7 it's Lucy Dagrosa. Lane 8, Zara Kraviec. And lane 9, Ashley Drake. Now these swimmers can qualify for the evening finals just because they didn't race this morning. They're not out of the loop. They still can make it through just like anyone else did this morning. If their time rank, we combined the morning heats and the afternoon heats to create the final ranks for the finals in the evening. So it's unlikely in most cases that people from the afternoon get into the finals. However, it does happen. Someone always makes it fast enough and has improved enough to get through. And in this final heat, that looks like it'll be Grace Courtney who's trying to look for that final place as she comes in just to win this final heat. Grace Courtney, 108.97. Layla Weatherspoon just behind her from Hearts in 109. That's all been confirmed. Grace Courtney the winner of that heat. And now we go on to the men's 100 meter butterfly remaining heats. There will be just three of this one. Starting with 8 swimmers. Oscar Chenside from Geary in 1, Caden McLaughlin, Scotia in 2, Alex Black from First in 3, Fraser Cowie at North Ayrshire in 4, Andrew Venter from Perth City in 5, Ewan Weir out of Dundee City Aquatics in lane 6, Tom Armitage in lane 7, and Daniel Hendry, the Glasgow swimmer, in lane 8, sorry. In the red hat, that's Andrew Venter from Perth City, turning ahead, just ahead of Tom Armitage. Tom from Thurso. Good to see the Thurso team down here. Got 5 boys, all pretty close in this heat though. And as often does in the 100 fly, and indeed many 100 meter races, the places are all decided in that final 25. Who can hold their stroke technique the best, who can maintain their power. At the moment that looks like Venter in 5. He does it with a 106.78. Ewan Weir with an excellent swim for him at 107.21. And third there was Fraser Cowie at 108.75. So 9 swimmers are in lane in heat 2. Logan Scally, Aberdeen Performance in 0. Kane Buchanan, Dundee City Aquatics in 1. Ollie Carter, an S10 para swimmer, who will be competing for Scotland at the Commonwealth Games this summer. He's from Stirling University, he's in lane 2. Alex Thompson from Warrender in 3. Ross Anderton from East Lothian in 4. Kai Connolly in 5. He's swimming for the Scottish national junior team, normally a representative of the city of Glasgow. Adam Scott from the city of Glasgow, he does go in 6. Charlie McLean from South Aberdeenshire in 7. Ben Montgomery in 8. And Fraser Tetlow back in the action for his 9 and going well again, but it's in lane 3. Alex Thompson from Warrender just ahead. 103.38 from Alex. Kai Connolly at 103.84. Nice swim from him. Nice swim from both of those boys. Now we hear the music for another hot heat, where the randomly chosen heats, the winning swimmer of that heat receives a special prize. Another 9 swimmers in the final heat of the 100 fly. Kyle Mitchell, Ben McLaughlin, Torrin Liversedge, Lucas Johnson. And that Torrin Liversedge is not there. Lucas Johnson in 3, Rory Young, Glasgow in 4. Then it's Connor Stewart, Dean Bagatti, David Landman, Jonathan Venter and Lewis Condy. In the middle of the pool, lane 4 going well. That's Rory Young. I actually coach Rory on a day-to-day basis. Came out of the Hardham Midlothian Club before moving to Glasgow for university. Really good technically, super in the gym, works really hard. Coming in here to the finish, he's going to be happy with his performance. 1 minute point 47, that's very close to his best, if not just inside it. I think he's going to be happy with that. Rory Young is the winner of that hot heat. Okay, short break there as the officials get the pool ready for the backstroke. Women's 200 backstroke, 4 heats remaining. Only 3 in this first one. Abigail Crawford from Glasgow, Casey Dixon from Rutherglen, and Zara Dunn from Glasgow. These 3 swimmers all entered this event on 2 minutes 44 seconds. And after the first quarter of the race, it's Casey Dixon just with a short lead of Abigail and Zara, both who are from the home club here, City of Glasgow. Although this is an open meet where we don't have any age categories, everyone is pitched against each other regardless of age. It's good to see young people making the standards to get into this open meet and getting the experience of swimming at this level. It's a level 1 competition. We have international swimmers taking part. It's all done to the highest standards of organisation. And nice here to see a 13-year-old, a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old in this first heat. Casey Dixon, actually 12 years old, from Rutherglen, in the middle of the pool with about a body length lead. Nice long arms on the backstroke, good smooth kick, not kicking too hard. Good body position, holding her stroke. Pulling away from Abigail Crawford and Zara Dunn. Into the final turn. Casey Dixon. Good turn from Abigail. She lost about a second during the length, but she's catching back up now and starting to challenge Casey coming out that turn, racing hard. Abigail's a tough competitor. She likes the challenge, and she's noticed that Casey's not too far ahead, but Casey's responded. The 12-year-old is still holding on as Abigail comes again now. Abigail, 13 years old. Just about a meter behind. It's Casey's going to hang on. She does hang on at 2:43.23, and Abigail also at 2:43.96, both underneath their entry time, so they're going to be happy about that. Zara done a little bit slower, coming in at 2:55. Into lane 2 now, heat 2 now of the backstroke for the win. All lanes are full. Caitlin Frame from first in that outside lane in 0. Jocelyn McKenzie from Lungai best in lane 1. Jessie Norris from best in 2. Hannah Anderson, Hamilton 3. Eva Smith from Aberdeen Performance in 4. Remy Muirhead, Scotia in 5. Abby Morton from Swim IT in lane 6. Caitlin Peebles of East Lothian is in 7. Isla Gardner from Geary in 8. And Molly Weir from West Lothian in the outside lane on this side of the pool, lane 9. Strong start from Eva Smith of Aberdeen Performance, taking the lead straight away and turning at 35.45. Backstroke's one of those events where it's really important to try and maintain a good pace throughout, but an even pace, or even try a negative split tactic approach. By that we mean bring the second half of the swim back a little bit quicker than the first half if you can do it. Tough to do, but really effective if you can make that happen. So Eva Smith at splitting 40.93 for a 1:16 turning time. The other girls were splitting 41s for 42s. Lane 7 now starting to show a little bit. That's Caitlin Peebles from East Lothian. She's starting to challenge now on Eva Smith in 4. Lane 5's going well. That's Remy Muirhead from Scotia. It looks from this now as Caitlin Peebles starting to move into the lead, going into the turn. Just very close still, but she picked up over 2 seconds on Eva in that 50 alone. Eva's going to have to respond now if she wants to maintain the lead. But Caitlin has pulled away just a little bit. Still close. Half a meter in it with half a length to go. Caitlin Peebles into the last 15. The East Lothian swimmer coming now to the last 5. A light challenge again from Eva Smith. It's very tight. Wow, very close on the touch. Only 0.35 in it. Caitlin Peebles takes it at 2:39.05. Eva Smith 2:39.40. Got second. It was a great race between those two swimmers. Very close there. At the end, Eva took the race out strong. But we saw the different tactics. Caitlin coming back very well in the second half of the swim. As we move into heat 3, another set of 10 girls here in this women's 200 backstroke. Iona Henderson from Rutherglen is in lane 0. Then it's Abigail Hill from Milngavie, Zuzia Smith from first, Alexandra Miller from Fauldhouse, Zara Denson from Montefieth, Thea Glenn in lane 5 from the city of Glasgow, Alice Cumming also from Glasgow in 6. Ella Balanowska from West Lothian in 7. Erin Coulter from Hamilton in lane 8. And Isla Gilmurray from Dundee City Aquatics in lane 9. Excellent start in lane 2 and lane 6. And Zuzia Smith and Alice Cumming have got the lead here. And also down here in the near lane, Isla Gilmurray from Dundee City Aquatics also swimming really well. These girls are all entered around the 2:36 to 2:39 area, so that's the sort of target they'll be looking to break. The Dundee girl, Isla, just turning first at 1:16. From Alice at 1:16 as well. Yeah. Great turn from Zuzia Smith to pick back up after the turn. Alice Cumming now just edging away a little bit. Isla Gilmurray still strong, but it's faded a little bit. Now body length down on Alice Cumming. Zuzia Smith also looking to, like, she's just struggling a little bit down this third 50 as Alice puts in a strong length to turn now. She's about a second up, a second and a half up on Isla Gilmurray and Zuzia Smith. A nice split there from Alice at 40.1 to break the field. And is there a charge now from Alice down the last 50, or is Zuzia Smith still going well? Trying to challenge back to her. Alice is holding on. Lane 9 is coming back again. Isla Gilmurray is back in it now. Is putting in a strong finish. We thought she'd faded down the third 50. It's going to be really close. All three girls are still there at the finish. Alice just with a touch. 2:36.98. Zuzia was storming back with a 38 split down the last 50 of 2:37. Only 7 100ths back. And Isla just got in there. She was in there in third place. The 2:38.2. It looked closer than that. Maybe she didn't quite nail the finish there, but again, good swimming from those girls. They look like pretty good times. And okay, the final backstroke heat is about to go. We have again 10 girls in here, no one missing. So nice lineup to we've got Grace Noonan in 0. She's from Milngavie and Bearsden. Cassie Wiper, the Glasgow swimmer in lane 1. Chloe Kirk, 13 years old from Milngavie in 2. Then Rose McLean from Perth. Also from Perth is Fern Crichton in 4. Amelia Campbell of Stirling Swimmers in 5. Rosie Foster from Warrender in 6. Then 2 fold-out swimmers, Ellen McPhee and Lauren Anderson. Finally, it's all the miles from South Aberdeenshire in lane 9. And a great start from all, a lovely underwater kick. But also lane 4, Fern Crichton, Perth City. Now she's ranked much quicker here. 2:26 compared to 2:35s and 2:36s for the rest of the girls. So it's a little bit unsure why she's ended up in this heat. Maybe there was some arrangement there. Typically swimmers of this speed would have been going in the morning heats. And it's also a good indication that Fern Crichton could well be one of those who progresses through this afternoon, because if she keeps this speed going, I can't see how she wouldn't be in one of those finals this for the evening. She's about 5 meters up on Rosie Forster from Warrender, who's going well in lane 6. Lanes 3 and 5 also doing okay. Rose McLean, Amelia Campbell. Very close between the other swimmers then. Lanes 1, 2, 7, 8, 9. Fern Crichton way ahead now, about 6, 7 meters ahead. She can just push hard and see and go against the clock here. Can she get through to the finals tonight? We can't tell until all the heats have been swum. Into the final turn, out of the final turn, and Fern still holds that lead about 5 meters over Rosie Forster. They're well clear. Rosie is well another 5 meters ahead of the next swimmer, so it's these two out alone here. Rosie from Warrender and Fern Crichton from Perth City. And she's going against the clock. It's going to be in the 20s. Comes into the wall, 2:27.75. And 2:27 from 2:30 at Rosie Forster. Amelia Campbell 2:34. Good swimming in the backstroke. We now have 3 men's backstroke heats to finalize this men's backstroke rankings. Jake Woods from Glasgow in 4. In lane 3, Daniel Hendry, the 13-year-old in lane 4. Sam Downey in lane 5 from the Scottish national junior team. Interesting lineup this. Jake Woods is 30 years old and a para athlete in the S9 category. He's been training hard this season, got back into swimming in the last few months, and has been training in the Glasgow Masters squad. You've got 2 legs down from him, Sam Downey, who's an S8 para swimmer. He's on the team for the Commonwealth Games for Scotland for this summer. So he's going to be delighted about that, and trying to learn lots this weekend. Sam 16, and then in the middle of them we've got Daniel Hendry, who had a great Scottish age groups a few weeks ago. Daniel is only 13 this year, and he swims in lane 4. And he's one of the really valuable young swimmers at the city of Glasgow. Sam putting in a lot of effort, having a great swim here. Not always often that the para swimmers can do some of the 200s. So not every category in para swimming has every event. It's a range of events, and the 200 is not the 200 form stroke event is not always on the list for most of the categories. But Sam's giving it a good go here, turning in 116, and that's 2 seconds. 2 seconds up on Daniel, and Jake's a little bit further back from that. You can see Sam working really hard here, pulling away from Hendry. A lot of strength in those arms, good turnover, good stroke rate, attacks the wall. Well, Sam is still ahead. We're coming to the final 25. Don't think he can be caught now. It's about 7 meters clear of Daniel Hendry. Daniel's about 10 meters clear of Jake Woods. They'll all be going for their own individual time performances here. And Sam Downey takes it 2:36.80. He's entered on 2:41, so I'd be happy with that. Hendry at 2:41.83. Heat 1 done. 2 more to go in the men's backstroke. Okay, 8 swimmers go in heat number 2. Fraser van der Meulen in lane 1. Campbell McLean 2. Gregor Skinner in 3. Nathan Lilly in 4. Aaron McDowell in 5. Callan Weir 6. Ethan Collins in 7. And Logan Scally is in lane 8. Ethan Collins, the early leader here from Beltool Sharks. Just ahead of Aaron McDowell from Swim IT. Those guys are in lanes 7 and 5. Aaron in 5, Ethan in 7. Nathan Lilly from 4. Beltool Sharks having a good afternoon here today. Look like they're in good form. Pretty close as we go into the halfway point into the wall. It's Ethan Collins at 1:15. But lane one, Fraser van der Meulen, you can see there his split was the quickest on that second length. And that's brought him through into real contention now. It's close, this one is 6 boys really. Any one of 6 could still get this. Who's got the energy down this last part of the race? This is where your legs really start to hurt in the 200 backstroke, especially the long course 200 backstroke. You think the arms that were doing most of the work, and they may well be, but the legs get so sore, so heavy, and really hard to hold them up at the surface and keep kicking. So Nathan, Gregor Skinner, the first swimmer in lane 3, is now built up enough of a lead here. He's managed to pull away from the others. .233.96 is the winning time from Gregor Skinner. Great last 50 at 37.6 to pull away from Fraser van der Meulen as a 2:36. There's confirmations. And we do let the swimmers climb out in the backstroke events before we start the next one, because they do have to climb back into the water the next heat. So clear the water. One more backstroke heat. Okay, final heat, the backstroke. Kyle Connolly in 0, Richard Laws in 1, Marcus Blake in 2, Adam Phillips in 3, Gregor Ross in 4. Lane 5 is empty. Jamie Gilchrist in 6. Lane 7 is empty. Ben McLaughlin in 8, and Adam Hill in lane 9. Jamie Gilchrist is your leader in lane 6 at 33.9 on the first 50. Jamie out of the East Kilbride Club, coached by Andy Figgins. Lane 8, Ben McLaughlin, the Gearism are going well. They're having a good year. These Gearismers, have seen them at a lot of the meets, putting in good performances and working hard, doing a lot of the distance races. He's at 37. He had the best split that 50, did Ben. Just behind Jamie now at 1:11 and 1:12. Ben maybe just now overtaking Jamie, just moving into the front, quickening up the stroke a little bit. Soft kick, that's all you need. But get the straight line down the pool, keep the arms moving. Keep it fluent, save the energy where you can, and then attack this last 50 meters. Okay, so still hanging on, the Gearism. Ben and Jamie in 6. Coming through stronger now is Gregor Ross in lane 4. Gregor, normally known for his breaststroke. One of the leading swimmers in the country for breaststroke, but here he goes on the backstroke trying to challenge. But you can see the Geary swimmer, Ben McLaughlin, has recognized the challenge and finished strongly at 2:26.97 with a 30. I thought Ben McLaughlin had got that. The times, yeah, there we go. The times needed to be adjusted. They weren't quite correct. Ben, it's now, we've got the scoreboard in the venue saying Ben did get the touch, 223.2, just ahead of Gregor at 226.9. We're just going to have to wait to go for it. There we go, Ben McLaughlin, 226.23, ahead of Gregor Ross, 226.97. Jamie Gilchrist, 227.35. We now move to the other end of the pool for the starts, because it is the 50-meter races now for the next 30 minutes or so. Quite a few of these heats lined up. The 50 free, we have women's 50 free, which we have 11 heats going in that. 6 heats of the men's 50 free. 8 heats of the women's 50 breaststroke. And just 4 heats of the men's 50 breaststroke. After that, one more heat of a 1500, and that's what we have remaining this afternoon. So, 50 freestyle. These races take about 25 to 30 seconds. Across the pool, we've got Emily Chong in 0, Ava Gordon, Callie Abel, Zara Dunn, Neve McClellan, Neve Duncan, Isla Petrie, Eva Smith, Daisy Gildea, Ella Cunningham and Ella McGeorge. Very close across the pool. Impossible to say who's winning right now, but there's 6 or 7 girls all in a line. Coming into the touch, who's got it? Eva Gordon, 31-1. She takes the touch, ended on 31-6. 7 of the girls all on 31 there. You can see how close that was. Eva Gordon, Ellen McGeorge, Emily Chong, your top 3. Heat number 2. Millie Barton in 0, Taylor McKenzie, Victoria Weir, Kate Mulvey, Joanna Calder, Lucy Nimmo, Abigail Hill, Emily Dawson, Ava Gallagher, and Peyton Forbes is the lineup in this heat. Lane 2 going super well, that's Kate Mulvey. Victoria Weir with the win, 30.72. 30.72 Victoria Weir from first. Joanna Calder 30.80. Going best done. Heat number 3. Darcy Reed in 0. Kira Anderson in 1. Jocelyn McKenzie in 2. Ellen Denny in 3. Iona Henderson in 4. Macy Carty in 5, Rose McDermott 6, Lucy McLeod 7, Simone Finlayson 8, Jenna Murphy in 9, and again here we see the close action, lanes 3 and 4 going well, lane 1 going well, they're maybe just ahead, 3 and 4 pulling away, they're bringing into the touch, 30.03 Ellen Denny, again having a good afternoon Ellen, that's a third or fourth to them already. And Iona Henderson just behind it, and Darcy Reed Moving swiftly on to heat 4 with Tilly Lake, Chloe Kirk, Kelly Chan, Isla Garden, Isabella Kendall, Adrienne Hewick, Lauren Stewart, Casey Dixon, Ola Miles and Sophia Falcone make up this heat. After a really good start is Tilly Lakey from best in lane 0. She's built up a lead of about a metre. She took 29.31 from Tilly Lakey, Isabella Kendall at 29.7. Heat number 5 is next. Hannah Stahl in 1. Abby Kane, 13. Summer at the Abby will be showing this event at the Commonwealth Games this summer. S13 category athlete. Daisy McInnes from Glasgow is in 2. Penny Scobie in 3. Nuala Gow in 4. Nuala Gow 4. Gwyneth Maskey in 5. Melanie Lowe in 6. Riley McIntosh. Jessica Meddock in 8. And Zuzia Smith in 9. Lane 3 takes this one. Perry Scobie 29.5. 2 more girls under the 30. Nuala Gow in 29.7. None of these I don't think are good enough to qualify for the final. They might be close to the junior final, but you probably would have to be doing 26s or 27s to challenge that top final this morning. Straight into the next heat. Heat number 4. Heat number 6. Rosie Murison and Victoria Niven from Glasgow. Emily Riek, Aberdeen. Rosie McLean, Perth. Madison Gallagher first. Alex Coy Warrender. Angelique Paffrey from Glasgow. Kira Hart from Scotia. Lauren Anderson from Fauldhouse. And Hannah Lockington from Mulgai and Bearsden. Lane 2 going well again. That's Emily Riek. 9 also in good shape. Hannah Lockington, she just takes it 100th quicker than Emily. Three under the 30. Hannah Lockington, Emily Riek, Alex Coy. Anna Freebaum, Ashley Merson, Olivia Payton, Rosie Liston, Mai Rogers, Rosie Heaps, Sophie Allison, Caitlin Frame, Sarah Montgomery. There's your lineup, really close across everyone. Liston in 3, then 8, Montgomery. She takes it, 29.71. Confirmation coming through. Tara Montgomery with the win. 5 goals under 30. Heat number 8 of 11. Rebecca Cole, Stella McCarty, Melissa Manning, Libby Doubleday, Lucy Atherton, Katie Brendan, Victoria Grabowska in lane 6, Maria Howe in 7, Louise Connell in 8 and Anna Lee in lane 9. Nice start from Stella McCarty in lane number 1. Lane 1's going to get this. That's Stella McCarty, 28.89, the first 28 we've seen this afternoon. A nice job from her. I think she'll be quite happy with that. It's the sort of time she does on butterfly. So a little bit out of date her freestyle PB, but she's brought it right back in there. Lucy Atherton, 29.25, and then Melissa Menny. Isabel Wood, Lily Mundell, Rebecca Zent, Bronwyn Payne, Heather Stewart, Anna Easton, Madeline Stewart, Emma McGavin, Safrina Machin, Abby Morton. Nice looking swim from lane 3 and lane 1. Isabel Wood and Bronwyn Payne. 28.44 Isabel Wood. Heat number 10. Erica Watt, Jessica Kirkwood, Emily Fawkes, Ellie Kennedy, Ellie Craig Collins, Keisha McCormack, Emma Leggett, Julia Dunn, Hannah McCulloch, and Ola McInnes. Lane 7. Julia Dunn going really well. Close finish with Julia Dunn with another 28 point. Then Ola McInnes, also 28. Ola, the younger sister of Kiana McInnes, one of Great Britain's top butterfly swimmers. And the final heat of the 50. Sarah Stewart, Hannah Wills, Eileen Gilmurray, Amy Shields, Alana McDonald, Madison Cool, Lucy Lucas, Mary Craig, Charlotte Raitt, and Tiana Greenshields. Lucy Lucas had a good start, but it's so close in this one. Everyone in the line as they come under the flags into the finish. Maybe lane 7's going to get it. Mary Craig at 28.22. I'm just waiting for confirmation. Lucy Lucas, the first 7 were under at 29. And then now the 53 for men, the remaining heats of that. There are only 6 of these. Starting with a heat of 3, Jake Woods is back in. The S9 swimmer from Glasgow. Michael Jones, an S7 swimmer from Manchester. And Sam Downey, an S8 swimmer for Scotland. He swims out of Carnegie, but is representing the Scottish national junior team. Jake Woods off to a good start. That's a good effort there.
Woods 33.12 and Sam Dunphy 22.22 in the British place.
Michael 31.93. And on to heat 2, Cole Murphy, the youngster, the 13-year-old, goes in 0. Adam Cool, Cole and Adam both from Glasgow. He's in 1. Luis Damascus in 3. Martin Brown in 3. Callum Weir 4. Thomas in 5. Bill Johnson 6. Nathan Getty in 7. And Campbell McLean in lane 8. And the boys in the middle are going well here. 4 in a line to the wall. Who's got the longest down? Callum Weir from Tom Armitage, 27.7, 27.7. That's inside the time they entered on. They entered on 28, so I'm sure they're going to be delighted with that. Liam Johnson under 28. Quickly on to heat 3, moving through these rapidly. Aaron McDowell in 1. Connor Briley in 2, Adam Phillips in 3. Colin Morrison in 4, Ben Montgomery. Colin Morrison in 3, Ben Montgomery in 4, Michael Winship in 5, Sam Curry 6, Ewan Gray 7. Then it's Fraser Cowie, Carl Mitchell. Lane 2 again, we're seeing good performance out of lane 2. Lane 6 going well. Lane 2 is going to get a touch. Adam Phillips, 26.71 is your winner. Sam, 27.0. Nicely under the time that he entered on. This is Dean Bargatti, Fraser Clarkson, Lewis Hussein, Charlie McLaren, Richard Laws, Blair McKean, Lucas Johnson, Ross Anderton, Andrew Smith, and Keane Smith. Very tight, cannot say who's going to win it. 26.69 is Richard Laws, the winning time. Only him under 27. Landman 0. Dylan McCombie in 1. Jack Simpson, Fraser Baird, Lewis Condy, Matthew McMillan, Robbie Boyd, Fraser Tetlow, Bill McLaurin, Ben McLaughlin, and Lewis Gray is the lineup. 4 in the middle for this one. 5 on the outside. 27.49. But Fraser Baird took that at 26.42, just ahead of Lewis Condy, 26.46. Final heat of the boys, 53. Ken Buchanan, Finley Sang, Guy Simple, Marcus Blake, Jonathan Venton, Alan. Okay, nice line here. Just looking at the confirmation for that event, it's not come up yet. There we go, 25.59 for Alexander Harris, Guy Semple, the other guy under 26. 25s, I hope those guys are happy with that. They should be. Now we'll move on to the women's 50-meter breaststroke. Remaining heats of that, of 8 of these. The first one is just 3 girls. Laura Pilkington from first. And Laura's a para swimmer. Swims in the S8s. So we have 12 50s to go, plus a 1500. This is the 50 breast. Nice start from the Geary swimmer in the middle. That's Ellen Denny. Again, back in the water. She feels like she's in every race this afternoon. Doing a great job. Ella Cunningham. Oh, very close between Ellen Denny and Ella Cunningham. Ella Cunningham is someone who's been making good progress in the last few weeks. You can see we haven't got times for Ella and Ellen just yet, and we're waiting for Laura to come in. Laura coming into the wall now. Here we go. Laura breaking a minute at 59.77. I think she was delighted with that. Ellen Denny 39.86. Ella Cunningham 40.34. Nice work. Heat 2 of the breaststroke. Anna Easton, Lucy McLeod, Jenna Murphy. And it's Sophia Fallon, Leah Mundell, Taylor McKenzie, Kira Anderson, Eva Chant, and Madison Stewart. Have we got all 10? It looks like it. Oh no, we're one lane missing. And super swim here going on from Peyton, is it? Well, sorry, looking at the wrong sheet. Lily Mundell it is who takes that one. Very nice, 38.85 from Lily Mundell. Lucy McLeod looked 40.9, but Layla Mundell entered on 40, finished with a 38. You don't do that often on a 50-meter race. So that's the result. Lily at 38.8, Lucy McLeod Kira Anderson, and then Jenna Murphy. Now it's Rose McDermott, Emma Binney, Isla Garden, Rebecca Strachan, Daisy McInnes, Peyton Forbes, Grace Prain, Jessie Norris, Helen Black, and Katie Gaffney. Full heat of 10 in the 50 breast. We're looking for those fast stroke rates in the breaststroke, getting the hands round the corners and through fast to the front. Lane 5 just taking this on. That's Peyton Forbes nicely ahead, just ahead of the rest of the field. And they're all in. 38 from Peyton, Grace Prain on 39, a couple of other 39s in there. There we go with the confirmation. Helen Black was third, and Rose McDermott, they were the other two that broke the 40 barrier. They'll be quite pleased with that. Heat number 4 now. Madison Cool goes on the outside with Louise Connell, Tara Montgomery, Carolyn Ray, Eden Fraser, Lizzie White in 5, Olivia Flockhart in 6, Joanna Calder in 7, Sarah Kay in 8, and Ava Ross from the home club Glasgow in lane 9. Ava has been going really well in recent weeks in training. Can we see something from her here? She's off to a good start, but in the middle, in lane 6 in fact, Olivia Flockhart is going well, and lane 2, maybe just with the lead at the moment, Tara Montgomery. Very close across the field. 3, 2, 3 coming into the wall. Montgomery and Carolyn Ray. Carolyn Ray takes it 38.5. Carolyn from Monifieth, 1/10 of a second ahead of Tara Montgomery with a 38. And Eden Fraser 39.1. Sarah Kay 39.8. Those were the top 4. Number 5, heat 5 of 8 heats here. Now we've got Lexine McCappin and Zutia Smith from first in lane 0 and 1. Heather Stewart, Addison Cole, Victoria Grabowska, Victoria Weir in the middle, Ellen Balanowska in 6, Simone Finlayson in 7, Macy Carty in 8, and Abigail Thompson in lane 9. Lane 0, Lexine McCappin from first, looking really nice there. Nice, fast, but quite low stroke. Minimizing her resistance quite well. She's got the lead close in the middle behind her, just behind her, but can she hold on? Yes, it looks like it. Lexine McCappin, 38.64, entered on 39.3, so no doubt is going to be pleased with that. 38 in the long course pool. Another 38 from Alla Balanowska. Victoria Grabowska in 3rd place to a 39.09. Heat number 6. Senior man from Dundee in lane 0. Kristen Mackay in 1. Kaylin Shannon 2. Rosie Heaps in 3. Grace Harley, Grace Hannock in the middle. Coco Croxford in 6. Ellie Kennedy in 7. Ayla Cocker in 8. And Gina Wren in lane 9. Some good breaststrokers in here. What can we see from them? It's close at the moment. Ellie Louise Kennedy going well in lane 8. Just alongside her teammate Ayla Cochran and Gina Wren on the far side of the pool. is Man, Mackay and Chan. Lane 2's going to take it. Kaylin Chan at 38.46. We're still looking for those 37s. There's the confirmation. Kristen Mackay at 39.25. Dead heated actually with Ellie Louise Kennedy. Both on 39.25 for second place in that 50-meter race. And heat 7 now. Kezia McCappin in 0. Remy Muirhead, Tiana Greenshields, Jessica Heaps, Greta Simaska, Emma Silcock, Kate Mulvey, Millie Barton, Isla Gilmurray and Ellie Hardy. Is the field. And another lane 2 strong swim going on. Hamilton Baths, Tiana Greenshields, but 4 and 6 coming through in the finish. The Warrender Summer in 4. That's Greta Zimaska. She just takes it, 38.03. Nice finish from Zimaska there. To pull away just in the final 5 meters. Kate Mulvey second. Tiana was third, followed by Emma Silcock in 4th. Final heat of girls. Breaststroke. Caitlin Heaney 0. Alice Cumming 1. Lauren Anderson 2. Ellie Craig Collins 3. Kate Caldwell in 4. Katie Brennan in 5. Ava McDermott 6. Karis Mooney 7. And we'll finish off with Kira Hart and Zara Denson. Alright, some nice looking breaststrokes now as we move through these heats. Lane 4, Katie Caldwell from Mullingar Bearsden has got the fastest stroke at the moment. She's going to win this one. Lane 5 is good and lane 7 is good. But Caldwell's at 36.89 for Caldwell. Katie Brennan at 37.3. So waiting for the confirmation to come up on my screen. There we go. Caldwell from Brennan, Lauren Anderson and Karis Mooney with the 37s. And we're back onto the breaststroke for men. Just 4 more heats to fit in for the men's breaststroke. Para swimmer Jake Woods is back in it again. He's already had a couple of swims this session. Swimming in the SB8 category this time in the breaststroke. He's going in 2. Adam Cool in 3. Finley Bennett in 4. Connor Briley in 5. In lane 6 is Oscar Mugen-Sharat, also from Glasgow. Nice start in lane 5 from Connor Briley. Nice middle part of the race from Mugen-Sharat and Bennett in 5 and 6 and 3, 6 and 4. Quite close between these two, but lane 4 is going to take it. Yeah, Finley Bennett 36.73, just in front of Oscar Mugen-Sharat. 37.05, 38.8 for third place. That's Connor Briley. Cool was 4th, 42. Woods, the Parasummer, and 44 seconds. Heat number 2. Hayden Pritchard in 0, Oscar Longmore in 1, Aidan Nixon in 2, Adam Phillips in 3, Lewis Graham in 4, Cole Morrison in 5, Alex Playfair in 6, Aaron Machin in 7, and in lane 8 we have Ross Hutchison. Lane 9's empty. Heat 2 of the breaststroke for the men. Got the Ranger swimmers in here. Lewis Graham in the middle is 19 years old. Lane 7, Aaron Machin is only 12, so big spread on the age. Lane 4 it is. Lewis Graham from Airdrie, looking like the stronger one at the moment. A bit of a glide in, but he's still taking the win now. Lewis Graham 35.13, nicely inside his entry time of 35.9. Cole Morrison 36. No, Adam Phillips 36.08, sorry. In third, it was Nixon in second. We're moving on already. Heat number 3. Kyle Connolly, Sam Ross, Finley Sang, Bradley Jack, Mano Drysdale, Ewan Wardlaw, Kai Connolly, the brother of Kyle Connolly in 0. So we've got 2 brothers in this one. Ronan Payne in lane 7, Dean Bargati in 8, and Aidan McCavish in lane 9. And another diverse heat here. 27-year-old Ronan Payne going well in lane 7. Mano Drysdale from Warrender in the middle in 4, going great. Top of the field, lane 1, 2 also in good shape. Tied on the finish. Drysdale takes it from lane 4. Mano Drysdale 34.15 ahead of Sam Ross 34.27. Then Ronan Payne 34.36. Finley Sang 34.50 and Kai Connolly 34.77, racing his brother there. And we go. Final heat, the boys. Sam Moore in 0, Fraser Tetlow 1, Lewis Brander in 2, Finn Longmore in 3, Jake Percy in 4, Ben King in 5, Finn Bannerman in 6, Ewan Gray 7, Adam Hill 8, Kieran Hayes in lane 9. Okay, there we go. Lewis Brander from lane 2 takes that. 33.08. Jake Percy from 4 and 33.88. 33 is getting down to here in this final heat. And that finishes the 50s. We're now coming back to the main starting end for one heat of the men's 1500 freestyle. One heat now, and the fastest heat takes place tonight at the start of the final session, where there'll be 10 swimmers, but we've got 7. Just checking the numbers, we look like we've got 6 boys lining up. for this. Gregor Ross, Glasgow swimmer, age 14. He's going out there in lane 1. Dan Hall in 2 from Aberdeen. Ali Jeffrey from Satellite of Macclesfield in 3. Nice to see Macclesfield back up here at this meet. From England, Oscar Chirnside from Geary is scheduled to swim in lane 4. Oliver Cartwright from Glasgow in 5. Ewan Jones from West Lothian in 6. Jamie Gilchrist, East Kilbride in 7. A slight delay here, not sure why. I think it's setting up the lap cards for the 1500. In the 1500, the boys or the girls, when they swim, it's important they have lap cards so they can keep a check on their count and not swim too short or too far. And it does just take a moment to get those out. They'll also they put them at the turning end so they can look up and see them as they turn. The marshals turn over the card each time they pass through the turn, and the number reduces down, showing them how many lengths they have left. And then with 2 lengths to go at the starting end, the judges will ring a bell for the swimmer to tell them they're on their final lap with 100 meters to go. This race should take about 18 minutes, 17 minutes. If they could make into 17 minutes, these boys, most of them are going to be pretty happy. We're just a minute before we get going here. And whilst we're waiting, just gives me a chance to say thank you to some of our sponsors at this competition. We've got 4 sponsors to mention just now. Sponsoring the women's butterfly events are Cape Scott. The men's backstroke events are sponsored by AS Homes. The women's breaststroke events at this competition are sponsored by Briar Homes. And the men's and women's medley events, the individual medley events, they're sponsored by Swim Easy. And thank you to all 4 sponsors for your assistance and contribution to this competition. It's certainly made it a more viable event, and we will be able to provide prize money again for the top performing athletes throughout the competition. The top 3 men across the whole of the 3 days, and the top 3 women in the open races will receive a prize money at the end for the single best performance of the competition. There'll also be another prize money for the top 3 junior boys and top 3 junior girls through the competition. That won't be known until Sunday evening. Right now we're underway with this 1500. We go through the lineup again. Gregor Ross is going in 1. Dan Hall should have been in 2, but he's not there, so that's empty. Ali Jeffrey from Satellite in lane 3. He's currently the leader, set off on a good start on the first 100. Oscar Chirnside in lane 4 from Geary. Olivia Cartwright from Glasgow in 5. Ewan Jones from West Lothian in 6. And Jamie Gilchrist from East Kilbride in lane 7. The fastest entry is with Oscar Chirnside. He's entered on 17:48.31. So 17 minutes 48 seconds is his entry time. Now if you swim 17 minutes 30, In the 1500, you're averaging 1 minute 10 seconds per 100. If you swim 18 minutes 45, you'd be averaging 1 minute 15 per 100. So if you're a distance swimmer, it's always useful to know what sort of pace you can hold. And right now you can see that lane 3 Ali Jeff is turning in split there, 35.5. It's early in the race, but that tells us he's on a 1:11 pace right now. If he were to hold that all the way through, he would end up with around about the 17:45 mark, which would be right close to, well, that would be well inside his entry time, Ali Jeffrey, but it would be very close to the time that Oscar Chenside has entered. So there we can see every time we get the splits coming up, it gives us an idea of what sort of pace these boys are on. 35s, 36s, what they can average through the 1500. And the very best swimmers in the world record is around about 14 minutes 30 seconds. They average 29s per 50 and 58 or 59 per 100. If you can swim under a minute, most young boys is a good target to go for, and girls as well. But the best swimmers in the world can average under 1 minute for a whole 1500. And it certainly requires a lot of training, a lot of fitness and great technique to be able to do that. But that should be the aspiration of swimmers who train for these events. What can you hold through this 15 to 20 minute pace? What is the output you can put into that and maintain? It's a good idea to maintain pace in these types of events. You don't want to be chopping and changing speed all the time. Of course, it'd be nice to speed up as you go through an event. As you go through a race, if you can maintain your energy and gradually speed up through the 1500, that's always a good way. But quite often we see people start off a bit too hard in the first 200 or 300 meters or 500 meters. They swim too hard and then they gradually slow down just a little bit as the race goes on. And you want to avoid doing that. You want to be able to settle into a pace that you're comfortable at holding, a challenging pace, but one that you can maintain. We're 5 minutes into the race now. Through the 400, turning at 450. And 500 when they get to the next turn, that's a good marker to give us an idea of are they on target for their pace. 3 500, a lot of swimmers will look at the 1500 and mentally split it into 3 500s and try and swim it in with that in mind. Usually just hold a good pace in the first 500. You then want to try and build a little bit in the middle of the race, that middle 500, trying to push on a bit. By the time you've got to 1,000, the last 500, you're really starting to hurt and you should just be pushing it as hard as you can from then. We can see now Oscar still hitting 35, but close to the 36, and Ali's just dropped back a bit into the 36, maybe dropping off to towards the 37s. Maybe regretting that early pace a little bit now. He's about a second and a little bit slower now per 50 than he was in the first 200 or 300. .540 odds and 550 odds through the first 500, so it's likely they're going to be under, if they maintain that, they're certainly going to be under 18 minutes. But it's how far under, or will they drop off and be around the 18-minute marker? Of course, 6 minutes per 500, 112 per 100 is going to hit you right on the 18-minute mark. looking a little bit further back. In third place, we've got Oliver Cartwright, one of the 80 Glasgow swimmers who are taking part here this weekend. He's in third place, coached here at the City of Glasgow Club by Evan Tom. He's entered on 17:54. So he'll be hoping to get close, trying to do that. He's going to have to get under 18 minutes, under the 112 average. But at the moment, he's hitting 37.1, so he's actually repping a 114 pace. Which, if he maintains that, it's going to be closer to the 18:30 mark. So he could do with speeding up a little bit, moving his arms, trying to move those arms a little bit quicker. Hopefully he's reserving some energy for a push in the back end of the race. Behind him was Ewan Jones in lane 6 from West Lothian. Then Jamie Gilchrist from East Kilbride, both 16 years old, in lane 7. And they're repping 37s as well. And also now, it's set off pretty steadily, but out there in lane 1, kind of on his own, is Gregor Ross. He's now swimming a 36.6 down that 50. So he's just maybe starting to catch those other boys on the other side of the pool up a little bit. Maybe he's building into this race and trying to pick up his pace as he goes through. But Churnside it is in lane 4, Oscar Churnside, the Gearism, only 14 years old. And you can see he's got this tactic of a pretty high stroke rate for a 1500. And that's, not a big kick, but if you're not going to kick much, you need to move your arms a bit quicker. If you've got a big, strong kick, you can afford your arm stroke movement to be a bit longer, a bit smoother, a little bit slower. But if you're not going to kick much, you better move their arms quickly if you want to get a good swim. And that's what Oscar is doing. He's clearly in good shape. He's coming in there, turns at the 850, 35.3. He's repping 110. He's holding that pace. In fact, he's a little quicker than he was earlier in the race. So we could see him swimming around 17:30 here. And I'm sure if he did that, he'd be very happy, because that would be well under the time he's entered on. So he's got 600 to go at this turn right now. This is his 900-meter turn. 35.6 on that 50 meters. He would be holding that pace. He's going to end up with around 17:38. And but you never know. He might slow down, or he might speed up in the final meters. So that could affect the overall target. He's well clear now, though, of Ali Jeffrey in lane 3. Ali, longer stroke, a little bit slower than the Gearism. Ali Jeffrey turns. He's splitting 37.3 for his 50. And I don't know if the other boys are... He's more clear with the other boys, but maybe they're just starting to get a bit closer, because they're split. Cartwright split 36.7. And Jones was at 36.0. Gilchrist 36.3. And Ross 37.0. So although they're quite spread out, some of these boys are actually swimming a very similar pace now in the middle of this race. But he's pulling away all the time, is Oscar. He's going to come in now at the 1,050 mark. He went through 11:44 through the 1,000. and then a 35.5, so pretty much on 111 pace. Yeah, it's still close to the 1730 area. He's 50 meters ahead now of the third, fourth, and fifth, and 25, 30 meters ahead of Jeffrey.
1740 mark, he's been pretty much in that pace throughout.
All right, 400 to go. 35.8, 12.56.
Slightly slower, 5 miles an hour, not going fully to the warranted in these areas. Steady ability. Bit more on this race for third. Just over now 3 meters.
He's just grinding it out, is Oscar.
And Will Jones. The two still not far away.
So here we go with 200 to go for Oscar Chenside. He's still holding that same pace, 35.7, that 50 around the 35.5 to 35.8 area for the last few hundred meters now. The other boys are hitting 37s, although Ewan Jones just stuck in a 35.8 there on that 50. And he's moved ahead now of Oliver Cartwright into third place. 100 to go for Ali Jeffrey. He's still catching him slightly. 200 to go, sorry. But I don't think they're going to be able to catch that gap up. He's got a good 12, 13 meter gap on Jones and Cartwright. Gregor Ross has moved ahead of Jamie Gilchrist. Gregor's split a 36.2 there, going nicely. And Jamie Gilchrist 37.9, slowing down a little bit there. But no doubt about your winner of this heat. He's coming in with 100 and just over 100 meters to go now. Still racking up that stroke rate, pushing hard. You can see he's really working hard. The effort is there. Final 100, returning at 16:29. So it's going to be outside the 17:30. A strong finish could get him into 17:40. That will be 8 seconds inside his entry time, so would indicate a good performance. And we're just looking to see if these other boys can finish with a strong finish as well. And what have they got left? It's such a tough race, this 1,500 meters long course. Final 100 for Jeffrey. Jones and Cartwright now turning with 100 to go. They've picked up their pace a little bit. They hit 35 themselves. Chenside still on the 35.3 into his last 25 now. And he's going to take, this is going to be nearly 50 meters ahead of Jeffrey when he comes in here. Great swim this, really, really great effort. And he's only 14 years old, so this is nice to see in a young swimmer working hard on a 1500 like that. 17:38, finished in 33.6 on his last 50. I think he's going to be pleased with that. 17:38, nice swim indeed. On to the last 50 for everyone else. Jeffrey in second place, the satellite swimmer. The West Lothian swimmer, Ewan Jones in third. Cartwright trying to come back, but he's too far back now. Gregor Ross having a strong finish in lane one. Jeffrey comes in second, 18:11 for the 34.4 last 50. Jones at 18:17. Cartwright 18:19, just 2 seconds back. Ross at 18:21. That's inside his entry time, so he'll be happy. And now here comes Gilchrist. He's at 18:34. And just slowing down a little there towards the end, but great effort from those boys. Really nice swim from Oscar Chenside to win that heat in 17 minutes 38 seconds. That sets the standard for the final heat tonight. We would expect everyone in the final heat to be faster than that. They're all entered faster than that, and we'll see that at the start of the final session at 5 o'clock. That will be the kickoff of the finals, 5 p.m. We've got a great commentary lineup tonight. I'm off the mic tonight, back to some coaching duties. Alan Lynn, former Scottish head coach and now British Swimming Performance Pathway Manager. He'll be heading up the live stream commentary and joined by a very special guest tonight. Stay tuned in for that. His co-commentator, one of the world's top swimmers, and one of someone you may want to really listen to and get a good insight of performance swimming from. So tune in at 4:50. The live coverage begins for the